Hello, and welcome to The Porch with Alicia Barlow. Hi, I'm Alicia Barlow, author of The Porch, a place for enjoyment, conversation with people, reflection, and encouragement. Hello, everybody. This is Alicia, author of The Porch. I am here today with I consider to be a good friend of mine, known you for a long time.
Very long time.
I got to say something. We'll say I've known you for a long time, but your names are changing on me here, and I'm calling you all kinds of things. I know her as Cynthia Henderson or Cynthia Thompson, but on her book, it is Cynthia Williams. That is your maiden name.
That's my maiden name. That's my birth.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm here. I'm going to try to remember to say Cynthia Williams.
And it's okay because so many people have called me Henderson for so long until I just answer.
Yeah.
So feel free to call me.
Because when I saw the book, I was like, Cynthia Williams.
Me what you want to call me.
Cynthia Williams. All right. Cynthia Williams. I'm trying to call you, what you have. She has written two books. Her debut book is Trouble Don't Last Always, Memories of the Road to Addiction and Beyond. I tell you this, if you've met this woman, you know that this book is not just a book, it's a testimony. I mean, it is just, I am sure you will be inspired just by reading. I'm going to have her to kind of talk about it a little bit. And then her other book is Inspirations and More from a Female Convict. So you know where we're going here, all right?
Yep.
Yeah, so give us a little past history of where you came from, you know.
Well, I'm the mother of 4 children and been married a few times.
A few.
Got a few. A few. Well, 3 to be exact.
Okay. All right.
3 to be exact. And I have went to prison twice behind a drug addiction.
Okay.
And while in prison, the first time it was like being away from home or being on vacation or something, because there was no work, no kids, no bills. It was just, I was locked up, but I wasn't locked up. We were at a co-ed camp. I had a boyfriend. We were smoking weed on the compound, just didn't learn anything that first time around.
So let's talk about how did you get into drugs? What got you
recreational use
on the road?
Recreational use is how it started.
Okay.
But after I got into the addiction and into the troubles that I got into, I discovered along that it was from early childhood traumas and stuff. That and things that even happened in my adulthood. Well,
I'm looking at your book, and I'm guessing that some of these things you have trauma on here: molestation, drugs, recovered trauma, teen pregnancy. So you got like some yielded signs here on your book that kind of let people know that these are some things that you've kind of gone through.
Yes.
So when did you start doing the drugs, and what was your drug of choice?
My drug of choice was cocaine. And I started in my late 20s, early 30s. I was old.
Okay.
I started. As a teenager and stuff, I did like marijuana use. I've never been a big drinker. And that's because I came from a family of alcoholics, and I really did not like drunks.
No.
I still don't like them.
Yeah.
But so alcohol, I never had anything to do with. And marijuana, it was okay, but it wasn't, all that. But cocaine is an upper, and it's one of those things. I like to be up and moving and going. And when I first started, it was just, we were just partying, having, a snort, a line or two from here or there. And I'm not going to tell you a whole lot of it because it's in the book. And you got to get the book.
That's right.
And it'll tell you. But it started out just recreational, trying to have fun. And
did you have any children at that time?
I did.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Wow. So you were So you went to prison for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you said the first time. So then there must have been another
There was
time
another
after
time
that.
after that. Within a year after I got out of prison the first time, a year later I was back in.
How long were you in prison for the first time?
A year.
Okay, all right.
And
then,
within the year of getting out, I was back in.
Oh, okay.
And the next time they gave me 4 years.
Okay.
And those were some very long, hard years for me.
Okay, so it wasn't like the first one. There was no party.
No,
you weren't on
the party
vacation.
was over.
You weren't on vacation the
party
second
was
time.
over.
Wow. Well, were you here in Oklahoma or were you in another state?
It's all happened here in Oklahoma.
Are you from Oklahoma?
No, I'm from Texas, Longhorn fan.
Oh, well, no, just
yes.
no, don't even
horns
start.
Up, horns up.
No, don't even start that. All right, what part of Texas?
I was born in Wichita Falls and raised in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I was born in Texas.
Okay.
Born in Texas, but raised here in Oklahoma. So I consider myself to be an Okie.
I say Okie Tech.
All right.
Texas gonna always be there.
Yeah. All right. So you had the 4 years, and then after the 4 years, did you find that you kind of learned your lesson after those 4 years, or was it still a struggle after coming out?
Well, after coming out, I was afraid of me because I was still healing, and I didn't trust me. Okay. So after I got out, I actually moved into a sober living community. Okay. And I lived there for a few years. Okay. Before I ventured out and bought my first home and then moved forward with life.
Just kept moving forward.
Yeah.
Kept moving forward.
Yeah.
I remember one Sunday in church, Cynthia and I used to go to church together. And she goes to another church now, but we still see each other. And then even after church, we on another setting, our work settings, we would work together.
Yes.
You have your clothing and bags and, set up, and I have things that I sell, and we just kind of meet each other at different venues and, just do what entrepreneurs do, right?
Yes. I actually, that's Adriana Fashions.
Adriana Fashions, that's right. So, but I remember I was actually ushering. Mm-hmm. And were you an announcer at? Or,
I don't know.
I don't think you were announced, but for some reason you were standing up and you were talking in church, and you gave your testimony. That was the first time.
That's what I was doing then, because I've never been the announcer, but A. Glenn Woodbury.
That's right. Was Great Amount Olive Baptist Church.
My heart and the biggest supporter that I've ever had.
And something was going on, and I know that he must have allowed you to stand up and talk. Yes. And I think for some reason, I was ushering, because I remember standing on the wall. Mm-hmm. And you were talking, and you started giving your testimony, and that was the first time that I heard it. And I was like, wow.
Isn't it good how God can clean you up?
That's right. I was like,
He will pick you up, turn you around, and just, he'll clean you up, girl.
She's amazing.
Well, thank you.
She's amazing. And
he's amazing.
Yes, he is. He's awesome. He is awesome. So you went through all that, and then you started working for the state?
Well, I actually started working for the state of Oklahoma while I was in prison.
Oh, okay.
I have one eye from trauma, and they weren't allowed to put me like on the side of the road and trash pickup or anything like that, because it was hazardous to me. Mm-hmm. So, and even though I was in prison, they got to keep me safe. Yeah. And so they I started working at the Office of Juvenile Affairs.
Wow.
And I worked there for the last end of my journey in prison. Okay. And after I got out of prison, they actually hired me for a $9.99 temp position with the state of Oklahoma. And when my $9.99 was up.
Now, what is a $9.99?
It's 999 hours. Okay.
Was that like community service or something?
No. I worked for them, receiving a paycheck, everything. Okay. It's some kind of HR jargon. So
okay, all right. Okay.
But I just $9.99, and it's a temporary position where you're not getting benefits or anything like that. But you're working full 40 hours, getting paid for the full 40 hours and all that. And there's like a little budget that they have that they can. And so after that, they didn't have the budget to be able to hire me full time. And so then I went to work. I went and applied over at the DRS. They were having a position available in the mailroom at the Disability Determination Division.
Determination. I like the word. I'm listening to you. You're talking about, how you're in the system. And, there are programs out there. You just got to tap into them. You just got to tap into them and be willing to
do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. And actually now, Pastor Woodbury put me over the prison ministry at Mount Olive.
Yes, I remember that.
And in doing that, that's what I've started doing, and that's what I still do. Is I work with people because I think that God allowed me to go through this path so that I can do what I do for people now. And that is
show them
to
that there is
give
a way.
them, and give them avenues and show them that there are avenues out there.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't know that even though you're an inmate or a felon, that you can work for the state of Oklahoma.
Isn't that amazing?
And a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. So, you're just full of information and you're able to share that. And that's wonderful.
And that's what I try to do. And
that's
I have
wonderful.
a little organization.
Is this your organization here?
Yes.
Okay,
it's
so
called SOAR.
She has a t-shirt on. It says SOAR, SOAR, and it says, read it, tell us.
Supporting offenders in achieving reintegration.
Say it again.
Supporting offenders in achieving reintegration.
Wow. Okay, so what is this about?
This little program actually started, the Church Women United with the United Methodist Church started SOAR. And what they would do is they would take the children down to the Dr. Eddie Warrior's Correctional Center, and they would help so that the kids could spend the day with their parents. They'd have a play day. And so the kids would go down, they'd play with mama, and people, volunteers like myself, we would get our church bands, and we did it at Mount Olive, and we would transport those kids down there. And they'd go in and they'd spend the day, and then we'd pick them up and bring them back to Oklahoma City. All right. And so that's what I started doing while at Mount Olive. I started, that program with these little ladies. Okay. Well, all the little ladies, there's only one left. All of them has passed on. Okay. And the one that was the coordinator of the group, she said, I'm turning it over to you.
Wow. So
that's what she did. Okay. And since that time, I have just took it to a different level where, I try to get in other entities and it's like connect the dots. And we will go ahead and we will, if you're looking for work, if you're looking for housing, if you're looking, just what you need when you come out of prison, clothing, whatever, we try to help in that area.
So you're providing resources.
Resources, yes, to the people to help them.
All right.
And then also, I have a website. It's soarokc.org. Okay. And on that website, it tells you how you can get a pardon from the state of Oklahoma.
Now, is this just for women, or is this just for
men and women?
Men?
It's for anybody that's been incarcerated in the state of Oklahoma.
All right. So say that website again.
soarokc.org. Okay. And that's what SOAR, it'll tell you everything about what SOAR is about. Okay. On that website, because that website is me.
Yes. All right. And you said that there's information on how to get pardoned?
Yes, because I have a full pardon from the state of Oklahoma.
All right.
And then I also kept on, and I got a total expungement of my record. I no longer have a record anymore. Okay. And I didn't have to get a lawyer.
Wow.
I did all the legwork myself. I found all the paperwork myself.
Look at that.
And you can, and anybody can go to my website and they can get the paperwork printed out. It's a lot of reading.
Yeah.
But
it's worth it.
It's worth it. If that's what you want to do.
If that's what you want to do. If you want it, oh my gosh.
And I went so many times down to that courthouse. And I would leave crying and they would tell me, no, girl, go on with yourself. And I'm like, I'm not giving up. And I kept on and I got it.
Yes.
So I don't have a record out there, but I tell everybody because I'm not ashamed.
There you go. Wow. Amazing.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Y'all, support my friend, Cynthia Williams. Her book again is Trouble Don't Last Always. And it don't. It don't. You went through what you had to go through to do what you're doing now. Yeah. I mean,
and I think you're
able to talk to people on a level that other people aren't able to talk to because you've been there. You've been there, you've done that, you drank the Kool-Aid and you survived.
Exactly.
Wow.
And I didn't wake up one day and decide I want to be a drug addict and go to prison and leave my kids behind. That was not my life goal.
No.
But
Who
it
does?
Happened,
Who does? Yeah.
And so I say that to say there's a lot of people out there, and it's easy for us to point the finger at them, but addiction is no joke. It's hard.
Yeah, and it can happen to anybody.
And it can happen to anybody.
Wow.
And you don't even know you're addicted till it's got you. So
but once you know, and you're a prime example that once you know what's going on and you're willing to make that change and work the program, right?
Yeah.
Work the program.
You got to.
Yeah, and stay prayed
up.
I
was gonna say you gotta put God in it. You gotta keep God first in everything that you do, because I know for a fact that if he got my back. Yeah.
I remember, at church, Greater Mount Olive, you was in a dog. You like you said, prison ministry. You worked with the kids. Driver.
And believe it or not, I was occupying my time at that time. Because you gotta stay busy. You gotta keep yourself busy. And that old cliche, the devil's idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Yeah. I believe that. So again, Trouble Don't Last Always, Memoirs of the Road to Addiction and Beyond. And then her poetry book is Inspirations, and this is poetry, right?
And it is poetry, and I actually wrote that book while I was in prison.
Okay.
Those poems, I wrote them in prison.
What?
And it was just letters to my kids, commissary. It was a way for me to earn money from people because I was writing poems for people. So some of the poems kind of sound weird, but it was written for somebody else.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So,
wow.
But there's
Inspirations and More from a Female Convict.
And I actually got my copyright on that one back in 2000.
Okay.
When I got out of prison, I compiled it and put everything together. But then I never did anything with it.
Okay.
So since this one came out, I'm putting them both out there.
Yeah, that's it. Cynthia, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, this is wonderful.
I just, you just don't know. You and so many other people at Mount Olive, but you have always been an inspiration to me. You know what I mean? And you know that because while I was trying to write this, I kept bugging you. So, but I have to say thank you to you also because.
Thank you. Well,
I treasure your friendship.
I appreciate it. I treasure yours. I know girl, you going?
Yeah.
You're going to go this setup?
Yeah, we're going to do this. Girl, I don't want to go over there.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining me.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening and joining me on the porch. Remember to take time to reflect, share memories, and engage with others on your porch. And I'll meet you here next time on The Porch, your podcast for community conversations. Brought to you by the Possibilities Podcast platform.